I'm going to backtrack just a little bit. I talked about all those Indians that said they talked with trees. Then when I realized I said with, not to, everybody's hand went down. Anyway, they were all successful in this tree trip, every single one of them. And I sent them out to, I said, you go out there, I don't want anybody to say a word to anyone, and I'll tell you the same thing when we get into this. I don't want to thank Red Elk or I want silence. I want you to remain in your train of thought. And somebody saying something will throw everybody off. So keep your mouth shut when you're done. And I'll have you all get your coats on and go outside, and something will call you. You'll know which way to go. It could be a blade of grass, it could be Grandmother Moon, it could be a tree. Nature will talk with you. And just talk, have a good time. I'll give each of you a part of a cigarette to offer thanks to the speaker, the one that speaks with you. And but anyway, one of the guys, I asked him, and I'll ask you when you come back, what were your experiences? And by the way, we will not tape how to get into it. This is very dangerous. It's a one-on-one thing. You need to have somebody in control, and I'll explain that. And so I don't want this tape going out to, I mean, you're here, you know how to do it. Don't tape it and send it to a friend. Okay. Because these people, well, I'll explain it now. Some of them, they've never experienced being, not just talking to, being a tree. And they love it, especially like Doc, your mother. She would love it. Straight and strong and no twisted back. And she might not want to come back. And there's been occasions when, oh gee, I had one woman, I had a heck of a time, and I had to threaten her. And I'm dead serious. I don't care if you are a woman or a man and get really ticked off at me. If I got to slap your face or hit your jaw, I'll do it. I want you to remember that you are two-legged human beings, not a tree. And you can actually, it's so dangerous, unless you have somebody like me who knows what's going on, you can actually stay in that tree until you die in diapers in an old folks home in a coma. I want you back. And I tell you, I've come real close to knocking that daylights out of a medicine man who claims he's done this before. Another false medicine man. He hadn't done it. And the very thought, I said, at the count of three, on three, you're going to feel my left hand against your right cheek. Hard. I'm going to knock the S-H-I-T out of you. And I told him that. And whoa, boy, he opened up. He was out of the tree in a hurry. Because he knew I meant it. I do not want you people in an old folks home. And I don't want it taped, you know.
Okay, we'll turn it off.
Yeah. But you'll know how to do it. And you will be the driver of the car. Everybody else goes out and gets drunk, but you're the safe driver, see. Whoever does it. You'll know how to do it. And once they learn, then they'll know how to do it and then spread it around. But it's just nothing to be taped. It's too dangerous. Unless they have a designated driver there that knows how dangerous it can be. I had this one woman, she and her sister, we had to literally, like a wounded combat soldier, could hardly walk at all, if that. We had to drag her until she could get one foot in front of the other. She was rummy to get her completely back from the tree. Dangerous, all right? So I want you to understand that. But this one Indian came back. Everybody was telling their experiences, and this young man, about 27, He said, you know that sculpture out there? Great, big, huge metal sculpture. I said, yeah. And he said, that talked to me. I said, okay, great. No, he says, it's a sculpture. I said, it's metal. You know, it doesn't matter. It's in what it was made out of is a natural thing. Sure, it can talk to you. God is in all things. I don't care if it was a piece of rosin. If it wants to talk to you, God made all the components to put that together in man-made rosin. God is in all things. You understand that, all right? Now, I did this trip with a small church group in Bellingham, Washington. Everybody succeeded. They were talking with crows back and forth. They would stop at a tree and chat with the tree. One person would stop at a tree and chat with the tree, come towards me, and all of a sudden there's a flower, call it. And they had a heck of a time getting back, just simply because they were having a ball. And all this life that they walked by every Sunday was suddenly chatty with them. It blew them away. These are Christian people. And we were to meet at a certain time the next day on Sunday morning. And shoot, I like to go early, just to kind of pray and stuff. Everybody was there ahead of me, out there talking to more birds and trees and flowers. They had a ball. So this will work. And I've had, maybe 2 or 3 in my life that it's such a relaxation. They actually went to sleep and never got a thing. But that's all right. But, okay, now I want everybody to take your shoes off and relax. I normally would have you laying on the floor. There's not enough room. Too many people. And little Richard, I don't know if you want to take this trip. Okay, great. He said I don't need it. All right.
Tell me when to stop taping.
Well, I'll tell you when. Okay. Now, this is basically talking with nature 101. I'm going to use a drum. It is nothing more than a tool. So that anybody, you can't do it yourself. You can't drum and get yourself into this. You'd have to have somebody else drum. And frankly, I doubt if you need more than 3 times tops. And after that, it's just a matter of slipping into it. You don't need to drum. And frankly, my wife, a very, very devout Christian of the old school Christianity, she was scared to death of this kind of stuff. She thought she married a good Christian man. And then wasn't until 34 years later, I told her I was a medicine man. And suddenly she, crossed her fingers and get the garlic. And just scared the daylights out of her. But she's slowly gotten better and better and better in tune and in touch and not near as afraid. And I use her on healing trips and stuff when I need woman's energy. And she learned to do that. And you'll learn to do that tonight. We're going to do some healing work. Spirit travel without the cord. And we're going to go to the one that the brother is having in the hospital with a heart attack. Which one is that? Cancer. Cancer or heart attack? Okay. God willing, we'll go there. God willing. And there was somebody else that had a problem. Oh, Betty. Betty with her shoulder. But we'll go there. And 2 or more of like mind. And if you're going to be of like mind in God, it means compassion. It means caring. It means love. That is the mind that's needed. Not curiosity. Not for a power trip. It means that you care enough to do something very unusual to your normal ways. Love, just because of love. And because you trust Red Elk enough to know that, well, hope that Red Elk is not going to steer you wrong. And I won't. I've got to face a creator like everybody else. And I know a lot more than most people in this stuff. And I'm not going to lead you into sorcery. And I'm not going to lead you into witchcraft or demonism or whatever people call this stuff. I'm leading you into the abilities that Christ says all can do, even more so, for I am with you. And I'm leading you into the formula, hunger. Reading and knowing the Word. I'm giving you the full formula. Reading and knowing the Word. He had the Torah, or the first 5 books of the Bible. Talking, debating, questioning, learning from your spiritual elders. In this case, it was his pastors of the day. And they learned more from him than he learned from them. He learned that they were nuts. And but that's part of the formula. Read the Word of God. First, hunger. Read the Word of God. Know the Word of God. Don't be afraid to, I not say go to church, but go with other people who love God. Unity, one with the other. Share with one with the other. Care with one with the other. That's church. Where 2 or more are gathered together in His name, that's church. If you feel comfortable in a church building and all that jazz, go. Go. Just don't get trapped in their rhetoric and stuff. But worship there. That's where you feel led. Christ went. And that's part of the formula. Then, get yourself baptized. If none of you have, I would suggest you think that over. Knowing full well now what baptism is all about. The depth of leaving a rotted corpse in the water and then occasionally going back and taking a bite out of it. And fast. Now, this is something Dad told me personally. I said, Dad, why are you showing me this stuff? And he gave me a name, and I think there's only 3 people on this planet that know this name he gave me. So I keep shut up about it. And I told them. And so far it's held true. But then he said, the people are not ready for the upcoming times. Now this has happened in 1977. He said, to get ready for the upcoming times, read the Word of God daily. I'm quoting him. He said, read the Word of God daily. Then he said, believe all you read in the Word of God daily. Now again, if you have a confusion, get into the concordance and work it out. Or just say, Dad, I don't understand this, and keep reading. He'll let you know what it is that got you confused, and chances are some man has slipped in something. And pray on your knees daily. Now, if it's at all possible to do so on your knees, do it. If you can't, you can't. But you can in your mind, even if you have no legs. You can in your mind. Thoughts are real. Pray on your knees daily. And then he said, if the people will do this, they will be prepared for the upcoming times. And folks, we are in those upcoming times now. And we're well within it. We're within 3 to 5 years within it. So that is, and he told me to tell everybody this. So I'm just doing my duty. What you do with that knowledge is totally up to you. And by the way, read the Word of God daily does not mean to sit down and read a whole book or 75 chapters or whatnot. My gosh, I got a Bible by the toilet. I mean, nothing better to do is sit there and read, you know. And I got one on both sides of the head of my bed.